Hey, y'all. How is everyone?
Doing great.
Hello.
I believe we're live. Hey,
Hey,
Jess here with SKAgazine and four of the five from our team. One of us is sick and can't be here, but I am here with Punk Rock Ryan, Janice, and Eric. What up?
What's up,
Hello.
everybody?
we fucked that up already.
We already got it. That's what she said in the comments. I love it. Hi, John. Anyway, what did she say?
Can we start over?
No,
We didn't do our
Works,
intro as
dude.
we planned it.
we are not done yet. Eric, stop it. You're live.
You don't get to say, just cut this like 15 times like you normally do.
Please? Hey, everybody. Okay.
Anyway, 2024 was a big year for SKAgazine. I started this little passion project venture of mine
That's what she said.
October last year, and I would have never continued it without grouping up with these wonderful people who I fell in line with at shows and became friends first, and then family, and now here we all are together, and we have time to share our favorite things from the year with all of you, and I think that's so special. And I love you guys.
I love you too.
Love you too, Jess. You're the best.
So I mean, for me, being a part of SKAgazine is something that not only like I love because of the music and all that, but it helps me with a lot of social anxiety issues I've had in the past, and just being a part of a group of people who accepts me for who I am, and I couldn't appreciate that more. So I love spending all the time that we all spend together, interviewing bands, going to shows, doing all the fun things, and I thank you for that. And I hope it means something to you guys, and I know it does. So Ryan, why don't you tell me what it means to you?
Oh, no pressure, huh, Jess?
No pressure.
No, I mean when you asked me if I wanted to join this and start the podcast up, I was so tickled pink. You know, we met at Croydon. We had such a great time. That was such an amazing festival, and I got a poster signed by every freaking artist and musician that played that weekend. You know, I met this dude Burrito. You know, shout out to him out in CA. You know, he was an awesome dude. Cost me a burger and a beer. And he took my poster around with his and got it signed all weekend. You know, the memories I made with you guys that weekend and seeing those bands, getting to chat with people, you know, having Bobble giving me a joint right before they had out, you know, it was just a great time, you know. So to be able to be a part of this community, to give back to all these bands that are giving it their all every time that they jump on the stage, you know, I'm super grateful for it.
Well, we're happy to have you. How about you, Janice?
I'm so happy to be a part of this. I never thought I would do something like this because I'm a little introverted, but I feel like joining this team has kind of given me a mission and got me out of my shell and out of my comfort zone a little, talking to people I probably never would have approached outside of this, and getting comfortable with talking on camera and talking on video. And just so many amazing bands. I've always loved music, and any time I can get out there and spread the word and try to get more people into it, or just, shed light on things that are happening in the scene, it makes me so happy. It makes my heart full. So thank you so much for letting me be a part of this with you, Jess.
Of course. Up to you now, Eric. Save the best for last. Come on, give us your speech.
Oh, my speech, huh?
Speech.
First, thank you,
Let's
Jess.
toast to the
If you
full.
guys don't know, like, we are the most do-it-yourself organization that has ever existed. And how it works is Jess just figures shit out for us. So yeah, Jess started this and invited us along, but Jess has figured out every step of the way how to do stuff, just literally Googling what she needed to figure out and then making it happen, including this live set right now. So
And
Jess,
that's why you can see all of our faces so well right now. You really fucking can't, just so you know.
fair enough. So Jess is our like producer, AV person, and IT all at the same time. So or first, I guess. You want to do alphabet or no, numerical?
What are you talking about?
That's fair. All right.
You
So
see,
first
there's
of
a
all,
reason why we call you Ska Ma. That's
thank
what
you,
it
Jess,
is.
for inviting us all along to be part of your passion project here. Highlights for me this year. Obviously, my first. Were we doing interviews? Was that?
I think it's important to let everyone know where we started, and that was with an
Okay.
interview with Danny fucking
Yes.
Rascal. And I shouldn't say where we started because I interviewed people before that, and they are all just as much important to talk about. But as a team, it was Danny fucking Rascal from Famous
Yep.
Idea,
And
and
you invited us along for that, and we're like, ooh, we all have man crushes. I mean, me and Ryan, because we were on it with you.
Oh,
And Danny,
Famous Idea was my #1 play from Spotify. So, I mean,
not
you guys
only
should
were
go
they
check
my
them out.
#1 play, they were all 5 of my top 5 tracks for the year.
yeah,
Right?
and they were my album of the year last
I
year.
I also really loved Camp Punk for no other reason, but like I felt like that was a big moment for us as a group. We got that really special picture of us all sitting on the steps together, hugging each other, and I love that picture.
Yeah, that's a great picture.
But B, it was such it was a chance for us to all be together and just like fire off interview after interview. That's a huge moment in us for us.
Mhm.
Here's some chicken little soup.
Chicken little soup. Yeah.
Yeah. That was really special for all of us, Eric. I'm glad that you can make that happen.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll explain that on a future episode, I guess, when we got time, maybe.
I thought it was a lot of fun doing the on-site interviews. They were short, sweet, to the point, and we got to talk to what, 6, 7 bands that weekend. And
And
everybody was just in their element, having a great time at this campground, loving their friends and their family, and just not giving a fucking shit about anything. And it was awesome.
can
And
we can we
yeah,
talk about our thing with them this year, or are we holding off on that?
we should probably hold off until it's official,
Okay.
but
Never mind, guys. I didn't say a fucking word.
we are planning on sponsoring for Camp Pennsylvania, as well as This Is Not Croydon Fest this year. We have something really special lined up for This Is Not Croydon Fest. We're going to be doing on-site interviews there as well, and have some other things up our sleeves that we can't disclose yet, but it's going to be sick.
In fact, the rest of us don't even know about them yet.
No,
Or at
you
least
don't.
I don't. At least I don't.
Total surprise. The only people that know are me, Christian, and Jeremy.
Damn it.
She's always working on something, Eric. You
I'll
ought to know
talk to Christian later on. It'll be good. All right, let's move on.
So let's talk about some episodes we've done. What were your favorites? And I guess I need to go first since I'm starting this all off. For me, it was Rich from the Goblin Club, just because it was a short episode and we got some information out of him that I wasn't expecting to get out of him. And also just the way we met, like just randomly at Pumpkin Drublic in San Pedro. I was walking around by myself, separated from everyone else at that time, just like doing my thing, skanking, dancing, and he recognized my shirt and we started talking and set up the interview right there, and it was cool. My second favorite was P-Funk North because that was just a riot. We had a lot of fun talking to those guys, and I didn't even know who they were going into, and I ended up really liking their music. And great people, so that was fun. And of course, Danny Rascal, which we already touched on, because he's just such an interesting dude as it is that he
Oh
had
my
so
God.
much to talk about, and that was a great first interview as a team.
It really was. And I gotta agree with you on Danny. I've kept in touch with him since then. We talk politics every now and again because he's in the know of what's going on. Very intelligent and self-educated dude, and he's just a pleasure to chat with. He's always in the know. So that's got to be one of my favorites. I gotta go with Rude Girl Review too. Those chicks were a blast to talk to. Lindsay made a T-shirt for me. More punks and politics. I rock that all the time at work and at shows. It's already probably getting worn right out, but yeah, and I think probably Stacked Like Pancakes. Those guys were a ton of fun, and they did that live stream a couple weeks afterwards when they finished up their tour. I got to check them out shortly afterwards, and I won their drum head that they took on Warped Tour with them. So, I plan on turning that into a clock for my son's dorm room. I think that's going to be pretty awesome piece of art for his wall.
Or you could give it to me. Just an idea.
I could.
Just an idea. Don't shoot it down.
Wait, what?
I gave you Demon Justice. You can give me the fair trade. All right, moving on. Janice, how about you?
I loved getting to talk to Girth Control. That was such a fun episode. They are such awesome humans, and I'm super excited about getting to see them at This Is Not Croyd Fest.
I cannot wait to see them live
2025.
and to talk to them again.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to catching up with them. It was amazing getting to have Patrick from the Planet Smashers on. He's a very interesting person. I love their music. I just love getting to learn so much new stuff about the band. And Tara from Half Past Two. I've loved Half Past Two for so long. It was surreal actually getting to sit down and talk to her. And just she's even more wonderful and kind and awesome a human being than I could have imagined. So it was just like everybody says, don't meet your heroes, don't meet your idols. I say that's untrue. Meet them. Some of them are the most amazing people you will ever find.
I absolutely agree with that. Especially in this scene. Like the ska scene is just full of the best humans that there is. Eric, what about you?
Is it my turn? Hi.
Yeah.
So, Danny Rascal obviously would be my first. They're probably my favorite band in the whole world. Hence, hey, my T-shirt, whoa, right? And my tattoo. I won't show it right now. You guys want to see my tattoo?
Oh, they can actually see it today, so you might want to show it.
Cool, famous idea tattoo. All right. So
There's
that was
a bit
a
of a
very cool
delay.
one. What'd you say?
There's a bit of a delay.
And
Props to your artist. He did some good job on that ink.
Thank you. Inkwell. Fuck, I forgot his name right now. Oh my god. Sorry. Wow, that was so bad. Can we cut that? No.
No, it's live.
So, Danny was such an interesting person, and we learned so much about the band and about his beliefs. Rugo Review probably, if anything, changed my perspective on a lot of things. It was such an amazing time to talk to them. But B, we talked about women and their influence on ska and really how they kind of sometimes end up in the back where the guys are taking the forefront in ska shows. And it's really given me a personal passion to kind of showcase women's abilities and talents in the ska world. So that one really kind of touched me and gave me an interesting perspective or a new perspective on a lot of things. So that was a personal favorite. Obviously, Dave from Mustard Plug, because I mean that was just such a good time, and Tara too. The conversation with Tara regarding people with disabilities and at shows really kind of, I go to venues now, or I've been to a couple of venues, and the first thing I do is I look around. I'm like, okay, if my friend with the wheelchair showed up, can they get in? Can they go to the bathroom? Can they enjoy this show like everybody else? And that's pretty important. So I think Tara really opened our eyes to a lot of a lot of things that we don't think about because we have the privilege of being able to walk up the steps and use a urinal or whatever it is. So those were my favorites. I picked 4. I know we said
it's okay. I actually was like, oh man, I can't believe I didn't include Girth Control because that was such a fun episode. When Janice said that, I was like, oh shit.
Girth Control.
They're all fun episodes.
They are all fun
episodes. It sucks that we're picking favorites because it takes away from everybody else. You guys all rock, and I love you all. Yes. I want everybody to know that.
Hey. Yeah, so it was kind of similar to when I asked Tara what her favorite song was from their new album. It's like they're all children of hers, right? The songs. I don't want to refer to our episodes as children, but I feel like these bands have become a part of our extended SKAgazine family, and we spent some quality time talking to them, and it was fun. Every single one of them.
I agree.
Is that some foreshadowing right there, Jess?
What do you want to talk about next, Jess?
Well, we should probably thank them all for coming on because without them, we wouldn't be doing this.
Thank you everybody for coming on, and even those who we randomly sent a Instagram message to and was like, "Hey, we're on this podcast. Will you come on?" And so many people are like, "Yeah, sure." I think this is a lot for our scene, though.
Mm-hmm.
That they are willing to be like, let's be honest, we're new, so we're probably not known to everybody. But
It's
very,
true.
very rarely did we ask people and they did not come on. Most
Truth.
people are very much like, sure thing. And I think
Yeah,
that's
like when I asked freaking Dave for Mustard Plug and he
yes.
said yes, I was like, what did you just
Yep.
Yeah.
I felt the same way about
say?
Tara. I'm like, really? You just said yes real fast? And we have some amazing guests already lined up for next year, foreshadowing, but
Oh, do you want to give a hint to who some of them are for the people listening?
uh I will personally do I
You want
hint
me
or
to do
say
that?
uh Eric Abbey from Jay Navarro and the Traders, from Killer Diller, from 1592 will be on. We also now have Allie Presses from Stop the Presses coming on. Take Over Jess from the
We
130.
have we have Kaylee and possibly Daisy joining, I'm not sure, from K-Moy. That's our first guest back in January. And we also have Kayla and a couple other members of Voluntary Hazing coming on.
And I believe we have a couple other in the works that we
Yes.
have not picked dates yet for, but 25 is going to be pretty fucking good.
Yeah, it's going to be
And
a
say
couple good
fucking
months going
live.
right back into the new year. We keep saying that we're going to go to like a bi-weekly schedule, but
It's not
we want to
happening.
come on, then we're like, let's just do this every week and have fun. I
There's
really
just
love what Gimpleg just said in the chat. He said, but you have Ska in the name. That's enough for me. So maybe that's it. We have Ska in the name, so they're not going to say no.
There.
My favorite place to meet people, though, is shows. So I'd like to highlight, we talked earlier about how we all met at Creative Fest. Well, Janice and I met before that. You and Ryan met before that, but we all came together at Creative Fest, and what a fantastic weekend that was. So many friends, like every year that I go, I watch this festival grow, and I watch my friend group grow as well because we all just became this big family. And looking at the group pictures from that, I'm like, oh my goodness, look at us all. Like, what the hell is that?
Croydon was my first ska trip. The Croydon, was it 3 years ago? Right? 4 years ago, whatever it was. The pie tasters,
2022.
yeah, the pie tasters were playing. I'm like, oh my God,
Mhm.
I've not seen the pie tasters for so long. I'm getting in my car and I'm gonna go see the pie tasters. But what I learned is Croydon is sincerely my favorite event of the year every year. I go back every year. And Jeremy, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you get these bands, but it's a brewery with was it 500 to 600 person capacity,
500.
and literally there's at least 10 to 15 bands that could probably playing for 1,000 people easy.
Yeah, it's insane. And the ticket prices are so low too. I don't know how he does it.
I agree. It's what, 3 days now for $100 is what I paid.
Yeah, I think it was like $100. It would have been 90 with the early bird special or something.
Ridiculous.
And not only that, but there's free parking. Like you don't have to drive into the city and pay for parking. The beer is not like center city
It's
price.
like what, $6 a beer?
7 a beer, I think. But that's great for a
Whatever.
show. You know what I mean?
I
You
agree.
go to a show downtown, you're paying $18 for a can of seltzer, you know?
It
Not
was
only that, but you got easy access to your cars.
Yeah, you can
Like,
go in
I
and
kept
out.
running out to grab crap from the car every now and
Bar.
again. Like, hey, I just ran into George
Car
from
bar.
Voodoo Ghost
No
House.
more car bar.
Oh, hey, I just
I
ran
mean-
into Devin K. Oh, hey, I just ran into frickin' Nate and David from Fantasy Idea. Like, everybody's just hanging out all weekend long. It's just so freaking cool.
If you did not get tickets for that, you messed up because it's sold out.
Yep.
So,
But we may be able to help you.
Except
really? Oh yeah, we got a couple tickets, don't we,
We
Jeff?
have a couple tickets for sale since we're sponsoring and we get
So
our sponsorship.
okay, let's talk about that afterwards. But do I need my ticket or can I give it away now? How many?
We'll talk later. We'll talk later.
Sorry.
oh shit, so we gotta do like a share and tag some people type giveaway type deal.
We're going to talk later. We're going to talk later. So, Ryan, what were some of your favorite shows or bands you? Wait, Jess, did you finish?
I had one more I wanted to bring up. And
I'm
that
so
was
sorry.
Splish
I'm
Splash Bash, my first trip to Detroit.
Yes.
Well, I thought it was just a little backyard party, but I saw The Boy Detective for the first time and my life changed forever.
That was a party.
Yeah, I love that day so much. And seeing them play live with a swimming pool right next to them, it was just cool. Everybody needs to see The Boy Detective. I hope to see them start getting out there.
Splish Splash is on one of my shows of the year. I picked a couple, but I feel like Chris and Sarah, well done. I feel like that show really showed what a scene was. They literally just talked to bands. There was 10 bands. It was all for charity. And they opened up their backyard. People showed up. And it was just a good time. So what else do you have, Jess? Any other?
They're my two. I mean, I could go on and on about shows. I did go to the Final No Effects show in San Pedro or Padre, whatever it
Are
is.
they ska? Are they ska?
They're not ska, but they,
Oh,
El Jefe plays the trumpet sometimes and all,
Yeah. No Effects has got some ska to them.
They have some ska.
Really?
Yeah,
But,
they do.
Yes.
So Ryan, what are your favorite shows? Because Jess just brought up shows.
Well, she's talking about having to see Boy Detective live, and they just opened up for Mustard Plug at the SKAgazine show last Thursday, and I got to take my son, which was absolutely awesome. He's gone to shows with me, but large groups isn't really his thing. But he saw Boy Detective live. He was jumping in the pit, and afterwards he's like, "Oh my god, that's awesome!" We went and talked to Benny afterwards. He grabbed some stickers, grabs a shirt, and it was Mustard Plug that wound up winning him over. That's what he loved at the end of the night. Go figure. But he was really getting into it by that point in time. And it's the thing about ska, it's a participation show. The more you get involved, the more fun you're gonna have. I would say Splish Splash has got to be up there for me as well. It really was just a giant family gathering. I mean, we could
Agreed.
like we really are a family, and we do this to support each other, to support the community, to help people out, and that was the most beautiful thing about that event. And the effort all the bands put in. They didn't care if they were playing for free; they were giving it their all. Benny's brother jumping in the pool after their set. It's just fun stuff like that you see at ska shows. And I got to dance with Ramona, our friend at the Bearded Gentleman's daughter. She was just too much fun bouncing around. I think it was during the Boy Detective even. And Camp Punk, I would say would be my number 3. I hate to take away from Croydon where we all came together, but there were so many kids at that festival. They were the ones that were down the pit with me, getting nasty all weekend. I helped Ox and Austin crowd surf. I don't know how many times. I was dead by the end of the weekend, but it was so much fun, and getting to meet all those bands. It was just surreal. It was surreal. What about you, Janice?
Yeah, Camp Punks is definitely way up on the list for me. They had a very heavy ska rotation in their lineup this year, and it made me happy. They had the Keep Flying. They had the What Nows, which was probably one of my favorite performances of the weekend. They had Power Up. That was the first time I got to see them. Less Than Jake. Kill Lincoln. It was just amazing. Big D and the Kids Table. So many great ska bands in one weekend. Same thing. This is Not Croydon Fest. Just blew me away. Nonstop. Like, you can't even keep up with all of the great music at that show. I also had some smaller shows that just really left an impact on me, and one of those was Matamoska at Broken Goblet. They put on one of the most energetic and unforgettable performances I have seen. I just left that night and they were just like burned into my brain as one of those bands that I will see live every chance I get. And then another one that was very similar was Los Mal Hablados. I hope I said that right. We saw them at Round Guys Brewing. Me and Jess were there. Tiny little place, and the energy was just so electric. And it's Spanish a lot. I wasn't sure what they were saying. It didn't matter. It just, you felt it. It just got into you. The music was so great. Everybody in that band was just amazing. So those are definitely my top ones.
Those two are up there for me as well. Really, really up there. So I guess.
I think you said Splish Splash was one of your favorites too, right?
You're talking about me now?
Me? Yes.
I did say you.
Who? What?
Eric.
When? Why?
Is there another Eric here?
Did you? Well, Jess started talking, so I thought you were talking to her. My turn. All right.
Hi, I'm Eric.
Fuck you,
You
Eric.
look all of a sudden, you look a lot prettier there, Eric. I don't know what it is. Did you do something with your hair? Oh, you grew hair. That's what it was.
I'm wearing a hat. What the fuck? So you guys kind of hit mine. So Splish Splash was just a good time. Scala Days. Scala Days was we are Ryan and I are very blessed because Michigan probably has the best active ska scene in the whole country. And a couple days ago, we got to see the write-ups. We got to see Boy Detective. We got to see Killer Diller. We got to see Jay Navarro and the Traders, and we got to see Mustard Plug all on one show. And it was just that was probably my show of the year. Croydon, are we counting Croydon as a festival, or are we doing both together?
No, you can mix them all together.
All right, so Croydon is always my favorite weekend of any year I've ever had in my life. So thank you, Jeremy. Thank you. And other ones, I got to see the Pie Tasters at a little tiny club in Pittsburgh. Joel Tacey and I went on a ska trip, and I think it was like 150 to 200 people there, and we got to see the Pie Tasters, and that was fun. Anytime, I think Mustard Plug is the band I've seen the most in my life, and anytime I get to see Mustard Plug is just a good time. The other band that I got to see a few times this year that I really enjoyed was Something to Do. They are just a fun band. I guess anytime you have Jessie Dills like hit a stage, she is the ultimate hype person, and that was fun. So those are some of my favorite things.
Any shows you're looking forward to this year?
Croydon.
Of course, we're all looking forward to Croydon.
I don't know of anything else happening this year.
I mean, we're all going to be at Camp Pong, so we don't know the lineup yet, but we'll be there.
I got a ticket, right, Jess?
You have a ticket, yeah.
All right, I think so. Yeah.
What
We
other
got Power Up. We
I
got
just
Power
saw
Up
the
coming up.
Power Up. I just saw the What Nows. They're playing a show at Ortlieb's in Philly on the 18th.
I'm going to see Beetlejuice live again.
Again?
Woo.
Yeah, Beetlejuice the musical is so amazing. It's so much fun.
It is. Agreed.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
It was amazing, wasn't that? Oh my god! So they take the Beetlejuice story and they kind of switch a little bit, so it's a little bit new. But I highly suggest it. I'm going to Toledo, which is 45 minutes for me, an hour and 15 minutes for me, and seeing it. It's not ska. I'll shut up. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, we go back to ska.
The top 5 albums of the year. Let's do this.
No, we were talking about future shows.
Oh, I don't know what's happened in the
So,
future.
I'm allowed to take 4 trips this year for shows, not counting camp. And of course, it doesn't count Croydon because it's right here in my backyard.
Ooh.
So I think I have tickets. I'm not positive we're going yet, but I think we're gonna go to Wake and Bake, Less Than Jake, Suicide Machines, Against All Authority, Kill Lincoln, Half Past 2, Jar, and Omnicon, I think. I don't know if I got all them right, but
Nice.
that should be pretty sick.
I will be seeing Half Past 2 and Kill Lincoln and Omnicon in Brooklyn in March when they come around. So, looking forward to that.
Remember our last trip to Brooklyn this year, Janice?
I do. That was a blast.
The Suicide Machines,
I am
Lincoln, Planet Smashers, Bad Operation. Wasn't there one more? I don't know.
I live in Michigan, so I will be seeing Boy Detective a bunch of times, and I will be seeing Killer Diller once a month.
And probably some Traders and some Mustard Plug and
Yep, because
yeah.
Remind me,
Cats. They're not ska, but they're also another killer band out of Michigan.
Remind me, who's not ska?
Coffin Cats.
Oh,
but they're another killer.
Ox was behind me. I had to chase him out.
What up, Ox?
He's gone.
Ryan, remind me when this is done to tell you about a show that's coming in February. I just can't say it on camera.
Okay.
Ooh. Mysterious.
It is.
We have a visitor. One of our mystery guests just showed up.
Is that Benny?
Nope. No.
No.
Different mystery guest. You know we're having a couple. I'm
Who's
gonna let you introduce this one when you see them pop up.
What up, Chris? Wait, you're still connecting to audio. We'll give you a minute. Hey, Chris. Can you hear us? Hit the little button where you can talk to us.
Motherfucking Chris from Killer Diller in the house.
The button.
Killer.
Chris, what's up?
What's up, guys?
How are you? All right.
I'm great.
So we haven't got to our favorite albums of the year yet, although I'm picking you guys, so you can't tell the people yet, okay?
That's fine.
Okay.
Gotta be a surprise.
You can cut that out, Jess.
We can't cut today. There's no editing, Eric. It's live.
So what's going on, Chris? So this is Chris from Killer Diller, which is the one of the best ska bands in all of the world.
Hey, Chris.
If you haven't
Thank you so much.
their EPs, you fucked up and you really need to listen to their EPs. So
Yeah. No. We're man, I'm glad that you guys asked us to come on and talk. I know you guys, Kara said something about like asking us about like our favorite new music or stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm probably the worst person to ask about new music. I'm still listening to Skank and Pickle, sing along with Skank and Pickle from the 90s. So I'm a classics guy. But yeah,
I still have some 90s in my rotation for bands that are no longer around. I get it.
The 90s were good days.
They were.
Well, you're
excellent
playing with
days.
some newer bands, though, aren't you? Is there anybody that stands out to you that you've played some shows with recently?
Yeah, the guys on my shirt right here, Los Vicios de Papa.
Fucking amazing.
They were so much fun. Such cool guys. Just amazing group of guys and just fun to be around, just play with. Yeah.
They're out of Chicago, correct?
They're out of Chicago. Yeah, and they got to, I think Kara and John put them up to help them be able to hang out a little bit and check out Detroit. So they got a little taste of our local flair here. So which was awesome.
Kara and John put up everybody, don't they?
They do. I'm hoping that one day I'll be able to do that too. Have a little more room in the house when the kids are gone. But yeah.
I put up Ryan every now and then. Does that count?
That counts.
Okay.
It counts to me.
It absolutely counts to someone, right?
That's all that counts. So we are about to go through our top 5 albums of the year. So you can randomly talk about the albums or not. That's up to you, Chris.
Okay.
So Jess, you want
me to start off with my number 5 album of the year?
Do you want to explain the process here for everybody?
So we're just gonna go in a rotation here and count down from 5 to 1, which this was really hard. I did my personal top 10 today, and I'm gonna share that tomorrow. But tonight, for time's sake, we're just gonna stick to 5, and we're gonna be very brief. So I'll tell you who my top 5 are. I'll start with 5, and we'll go around the circle. You guys will all give your 5, and then we'll continue on with 4, 3, 2, and number 1.
Chris, you can add albums in or say popcorn and make people move on, whichever you prefer. Okay?
We have another guest. Hold on, let's let our other guest over.
Is it like favorite albums from 2024 or is it just of all time?
It's 2024, but if you broke the rules, we would all just go with it.
Just okay.
We have 2
that
just hopped in the room.
Audio. And Benny. Shit, we got everybody.
Now it's a party.
Oh yeah, now it's a party.
It is a Detroit party.
You know how I like to switch stuff up. Hey, Benny.
Ain't no party like a Detroit party. Detroit party's got Benny Capal and Kara Stephanitis.
And Chris. What the fuck, Ryan? You
Welcome.
He's already been
I
here.
remember you, Chris.
Very interesting.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
So can I Jess?
Yes.
You know how I like to throw just
Curveballs?
what?
You like to throw curveballs?
Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
So we have everybody here, right? Why don't we do this? Why don't we do Jess left?
I'm
why don't we do each person does their top 2 albums and we can back up later.
what? How do you no, you can't reveal things that way.
Fine.
Fine, let's start with number 5. We'll keep
Then
it really, really brief.
Sorry,
Okay.
while we have some artistic.
Okay, so to our special guests, just we're gonna do our top 5 albums now, and surprise, you guys are included at some point, so act surprised, okay?
All right, I'm gonna go first.
All right.
My number 5 album, released in November of 2024. You know, I really like it if it was released that late. On Jumpstart Records is Hub City Stompers Drinking Rage. I had the pleasure of being at the record release party, and that was a great time. And I just love this album, and I've been spinning it a lot. Have you all listened to it?
I have
Yeah. What do you think?
2 thumbs up.
Awesome.
I love it. It's definitely top 10 for me.
All right.
Janice, what is your top number 5?
My number 5 is 2:30. Talk is Killing Me. I
Great
really love
album.
this. There's so much that I can relate to in it. There's a lot of just like deep emotion. I don't know, it just really speaks to me, and it's okay. I'm gonna keep going.
My number 5. We're going by
I'm not
Can
gonna
I
cry,
say
guys.
something about her number, which
I'm not gonna cry.
the
Yes.
2:30 album, because like it was playing with them, like Tara is so much fun.
Yes.
And she's like the ultimate ska mom. Like she was like taking care of people and like cleaning up backstage, and we're like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm a mom. Right? She's just such a great person. She's got a cool heart, cool story.
She was our last guest on the show before you guys actually.
Oh, was she?
Yeah.
Nice.
My number 5, coming in at number 5, is something to do with Here Comes the Panic. One of my favorite songs, as anyone who maybe have listened to the 4 people listen to our podcast would know, is Barrier for Entry, which is an anthem for people with disabilities and their plights in life. So an amazing song there. Ryan, what is your number 5?
Coming in at number 5 for me is Call Me Malcolm, Echoes and Ghosts. It's a killer album all the way through. I just love the way the horns blast and they keep the energy pumped. Track 1, track 0. Yep.
I believe Benny's number 5 was Neil Diamond's Greatest Hits.
Dude, Neil Diamond rules. Okay, I don't care what you guys all think. I'll say this: Neil Diamond's Christmas album is by far top 3 Christmas albums of all time. Just saying, Mr. Diamond, he knows what he's doing. He's coming to America. You know what I mean? He's coming to America.
Annie, speaking of Christmas songs, I renounced, how the hell do you say it? Verdukianism.
Verdukianism.
I heard that today on Mike Carrera's show from MXPX.
Yes, finally, finally we made his show. And it was my favorite part was, I don't know if anybody listened to it, but he's like, there's going to be no more Christmas songs.
Yes.
And then our song comes chick, 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 with the sleigh bells. And he's like, apparently there's another Christmas song. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, he was like, ignore those bells. You did not hear that.
Yes. You could tell like we were added to like, must have been the last second like entry. Like, oh, I guess Punkerton Records, I guess we'll add this song, right? And like it was wonderful. But he did say some nice things. So at least he didn't say like this sucks.
Are we jumping to our favorite albums yet?
No, not yet. We're at number 4.
All right.
All right. For me, it was.
Did you ask Chris or Kara if they had a number 5?
Oh, do you have number 5, Chris or Kara?
I only had 4 on my list.
Okay, so you're on the next. So you're up next.
You want to start off with your number 4?
on the next round.
Chris have a number 5.
Come on, Kara.
Sure. Number 4 for me was the Maca Sticks, the nation's capital. So some nice two-tone vibes there and good stuff.
Nice.
I have not listened to that. I'm gonna have to check it out.
There.
Yeah,
We're all
same.
at that. Chris, you jumping in?
Yeah, I don't
No
have a
pressure.
number 4 yet.
Popcorn.
Popcorn.
Number 4 for me was Hurt People by Weston. Something unique about the way that Weston released this was he put out a song each month on the first of the month. And then on December 1st, the full length was loaded onto all the streaming platforms. And it's such a good album. With Weston, it's always a surprise what you're going to get each month. He hits many genres, and ska is usually embedded in most of them. And I just love it. It's so good. My favorite tracks are Old Flame and I forget the name of the other one. I'm not going to sit here and try to think of it, but such a good album.
That is a really good one. I really enjoyed that. My number 4 is Girth Control. Life's Too Short for Girth Control. It is such a ridiculously fun album. Every song is just upbeat and it's like party ska. It makes me laugh. Work Shirts has been an anthem for me. I can't tell you how many times I've listened to that song since I first heard that album. It makes me happy. It makes me so happy.
It's a great album. It's definitely top 10 for me. It was really hard to pick 5 this year.
I feel like it was kind of cruel and unusual punishment to make me pick.
Yeah, actually.
Right?
Like, cause it's a tough choice. My number 4, I gotta go with Backyard Superheroes. I just love the theme of mental health. You know, I feel like it's something that we don't address enough as a nation. And yeah, there's some really good tracks with some really good messages in it. So I gotta go with that with my number 4.
Eric, you're up.
All right, my number 4 is 2:30. Talk is killing me, and I fucked up. So
Yeah, you did. We all caught it, but we weren't saying anything.
So for something to do, my favorite song was Caffeination. And I went on to a big tyrant about a 2:30 song. So we're just gonna move on. And that was my number 4. Number 3, Kara.
Number 3 for me, I think, is the Calamatics, self-titled.
Nice. Jess?
I think we skipped Benny
Wait,
for number
I'm
4.
sorry.
Did Benny have a number 4?
Oh, I'm sorry, Benny. I'm so sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. Number 4, coming in at number 4 is obviously Omnigon's Feral. Came out this year. It was wonderful. And Janice, you're like naming a bunch of my favorite albums. So, you know, half past 2 is gonna make it too. So, but I'm gonna revert because a lot of these albums were so good. It was really hard to put 4 together. So I'll try to make them a little different if I can. But Tara's wonderful, and she has purple hair, and purple is my favorite color. So, Tara, if you're listening, thank you for having purple hair.
And he's just trying to kiss up so he can get on a 2:30 show, but it's okay.
Listen. And this is for Tara and Adam. We need to play chicken. I will put Seth on my back. You put Adam, put Tara on your back. We'll play chicken out there in the middle of the crowd.
Oh my God.
I am
That is the
100% correct.
best idea I've ever heard.
Are we on 3s yet or no?
Can we do it? We should do it like a pay-per-view almost even. We can raise some money for 6 feet over.
Well, first comes to first, we got to get the Omnigon and 2:30 to get the Boy Detective on the show. So that's step 1. And obviously, we could add Killer Diller to the set and make it a real night. We could make it a real night. I'm just saying.
We're down.
I mean, technically, Killer Diller has played with 2:30 already.
They got the
Oh.
Well, you guys are gonna have to.
They got it in.
You guys got to pick a chicken though. You got to figure that out though. Killer Diller's got to figure out the chicken.
Which was such an amazing.
A tried chicken would be wild.
What are we on now? 2?
We're on number 3. Tara gave her 3. So I guess it's my turn.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. This is an album that I discovered not too long ago. I talked to Gimpleg about it, he knows. Voluntary Hazing out of San Jose, California. This girl, Kayla's voice, they're young. It's amazing. Like, gives me chills. And they're like ska pop punk. Just such a feel-good album. My favorite tracks are Neurotic and Professionally Offended. I think everybody should check out Addictive Little Sounds by Voluntary Hazing. And we are bringing them on the show.
I have not
I'm
heard the
excited
album,
about that.
so I will
It's
listen.
so good. So good. It's a little more mellow and pop punky than what I usually choose. I usually like the heavy stuff, but I absolutely love this album.
Awesome. We'll definitely have to check it out. My number 3 is Runaway Ricochet, Diminishing Returns. I guess it was released some springtime. It was my album of the summer. It's very airy and upbeat, and it has upbeat music, but some very deep lyrics. The lyrics on these songs are so incredible. I would love to get them on the show and do some deep dives into the messages behind them, because their songs are just beautiful.
Go get them, Janice.
If you haven't heard them yet, check it out. What?
Go get them.
Send them
We're down.
I will.
I think my number 3 is gotta be Stuck Lucky, Counting Curses. It's just a killer album. Like,
Such a
I
good
feel like that's
album.
gonna get, that record is gonna get played so long in my catalog for years and years. So
Did you
yeah.
order that on vinyl?
I know.
Do you know what I love about that band? When you order their vinyl, they send you a little note that tells you like the next time they plan on coming to your city and thanking you for ordering. I think that's so nice. I've spun that quite a bit this year. And it hasn't even been out that long.
No. Eric, what you got?
What do I got? So number 3. Did you hear my drum roll, or am I just doing it for myself? Just doing it for myself. That's
No, we heard it.
Oh, we should have had Ox here doing drum rolls.
Oh no, please.
So my number 3 is Root Girl Review, their Supernova EP. They were a guest of ours, but at the same time, if you want to talk about a group of talented musicians who all come together and just make a phenomenal album, that is it. I mean, we talked earlier, and I think Ryan and myself both mentioned it was one of our favorite podcasts of the year, because I think we learned a lot from them. We learned that that women in the scene are sometimes pushed to the back, not necessarily killer diller. Way to go, guys, because Kara's right up front. But a lot of women musicians in the ska world are kind of towards the back. And when you see Root Girl Review, obviously they are all at the forefront. And from a technical standpoint and from a musical standpoint, there is not a better group of musicians out there. Some of my favorite songs, obviously Root Girl Shake, what they opened with, and I want to say In Vogue, their In Vogue cover of Never Gonna Get It. It's just a fun song. If you haven't heard the album, my God, you need to buy the album and listen to it. So Root Girl Review comes in at my number 3 of the year.
I just want to say I didn't get to see them this year because I didn't go to Supernova and we didn't get the show like you guys did out there. But I did see Lady Hatchet Quartet a week ago? Was it with the Slackers?
Oh, yeah.
They were so good. And it was like, what, 4 out of the however many members are in Rude Girl Review?
It was like a quarter of a fifth of the band.
Jade, and the drummer. Really, really, really good. It was a fun set.
It's really good.
Ryan, what you got?
My number 2?
Oh, wait, you already went.
Yeah, he went out of order. Benny.
So number 3 is going to be obviously No Normal, Kill Lincoln. Came out this year, wonderful album. I like how they specifically recorded it differently. They recorded it, they wanted to do it all themselves, and they wanted to have a real live feel, so you actually can hear their hype man's shoes on the floor, which is really neat. If you listen to the album, it's very interesting. A lot of people have kind of had some issues with it because they're like, "Whoa, this is not as professionally recorded as the other." But like, I love the idea that they went with like more of a DIY feel to this album. So that's my number 3.
Good pick.
And Drew is part of the band. I mean, you can't cut
Yes.
him out.
He is.
He is. Like, he stars in all the videos. He's out there crowd surfing with everybody. Like,
What
he's
a
just
cool idea to like record his screech on the floor. Like, who
Right?
would think that? That's so awesome. The detectives got to do something fun like that. We got to figure something.
I actually got to see Drew's other band this year. That was kind of cool. Urban Crater, where he's actually playing and not the hype man. I was like, this is a very different scenario for you. I'm used to him being all over the place, and he was like standing still. But it was fun.
I feel like that must be hard for him, standing still.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris, do you have a number 3?
I don't have a number 3. No. Still,
All right.
come back to me though.
Gary, you want to give your number 2?
Sure, this is going to be a little redundant because number 2 for me is a tie between the 2 Root Girl review EPs that came out. So the Supernova EP and the Christmas EP from Jump Up.
Yes.
I was lucky enough to see them 3 times this year. Supernova here, in Toledo, and then the next night in Chicago because my daughter wanted to see them, and it was her birthday weekend, and she lives there. So I drove out and saw them 2 nights in a row, and it was a blast every single time. So
awesome. They're just such awesome people. Like, getting to chat with them and, you know, hearing about their struggles and everything they persevered through. And, you know, it's inspiring. They're inspiring people.
they definitely are.
I like to rabbit trail. So, Kara, I'm going to put you on the spot here for a second. As a woman in ska, do you feel that sometimes women are put kind of towards the back of the stage? I don't think that's accurate for Killer Diller by any means. In general.
And I don't, at least in the Michigan ska scene,
Sure.
it's definitely not as much of a problem as what I've faced in the past. So I was in punk bands for a long time. Definitely an issue in the punk scene. An issue I DJ also. It's an issue there. I can't tell you how many times I've been asked if I'm the merch girl for the DJ. 1, what DJ has a merch girl? 2, why would I be under a table hooking up cords for some DJ dude? But you know, there has been a couple of times where I've shown up to shows and been told that there was no +1s. And I'm like, cool, because I'm in the band. But it doesn't seem, it's not too bad here. In Chicago, I definitely faced a lot more of that. It's harder to get taken seriously. It's harder to gain respect as a musician. So, but I feel like I'm in a really good place right now with tons of support. So hopefully that's in the past. Maybe the entire music world is progressing.
I feel like as far as ska goes, I see it changing a lot everywhere. So
Yeah.
Wait,
I actually want to add to that a little bit of because like when I was growing up, it was like the female figure in ska was like just a sex symbol, just like the over sexualization of the female, and like we were able to move beyond that to see the talent that's there, right, and highlight and showcase that as opposed to just being a pretty face or a body on stage to get the guys in the door, right? Because we absolutely there's so much talent, and Kara is the perfect example of this, and then Rude Girl Review being a whole all-female band, right? Just like there's texture, there's depth there, there's so much more than just looks, right? So yeah, so I hate that you had to experience that, you know. I mean, probably I'd be remiss to think it's not still around, you know. That's a hard paradigm to break, right? But the more we can showcase and the more we can highlight the actual talents of our female artists, man, this, you know, that just moves us forward.
Which Killer Diller does in so many different ways. When you look at the makeup of Killer Diller, you definitely have a lot of females that come. I mean, I guess every member of Killer Diller is at the front, which is an amazing part of your band.
Yeah, we try to. I mean, we were actually, Scott and I were just talking about this a couple days ago. Like the rhythm section, like those guys alone are just amazing talent. The horn section, like those guys, like just the amount of talent is just sickening, right? And then we got me and Kara, and we're pretty all right too. So just like individually, like those sections are great, but together, like you bring them together and we can, and it just creates something that we think is special. So
I like the
Okay.
modesty, Chris.
what's that?
We're pretty all right. I like the modesty.
Yeah. Well, like
Didn't
here's
you just sing national anthem at a Pistons game here a couple
I
weeks ago?
did. Here's the thing I like to say about myself, and I'm maybe I'm channeling my inner Benny, but like I am a mediocre singer, and I'm an amazing hype man, right? So like what I lack in talent, I bring in I make up for it in energy, and like that's always what I wanted to do is just like bring the party wherever I go.
So that is a lie because you are an amazing singer and hype man.
Well, thank you for
And
that. I
Denny,
appreciate it.
what I got out of that was he called you a mediocre singer, but that's
I'm gonna
okay.
wait. In fairness, in very fairness, and I said this to Kara. Kara can vouch. Kara can vouch for me. I said this to her the other day. Every time these two sing, I close my eyes and I feel like I'm transported to a dive jazz club in Chicago
Yes.
for how good of singers they are. And I said that, Kara could vouch. You could just shake her head. I literally said this to her the other day, and that's the truth. You two are beautifully vocalists together. And it's funny because I feel the same way, Chris, when somebody says to me, man, your vocals are so good. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, dude, I am just jumping. I don't even know where half the air is half the time. And I think it's because I'm just in their face. They're like, they got to be good, right? He has all this charisma. He's got to be a good singer, you know. But you know, I do think there is a thing where it's like, I love the fact that Killer Diller is a perfect example of this. You guys are a band that actually has fun doing what you're doing too, and it comes across in your music. And the whole idea that anybody who's talented is available to come on your stage and play with you, and to have, you know, like Jared and pop up, or you have other people come up and do just it's so awesome. It's like an orchestra almost, but not, but kind of. But then you two are just, you're wonderful frontmen. So frontman and frontwoman, sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but
we return for the term front persons.
Front persons, love it. And Kara, from all of us men in the music scene, I am sorry, and I'm sorry for any woman that gets thrown in the back, because that is so wrong in this world. So Killer Diller, I love you, and that's okay. I'm a mediocre singer. That's fine, because I will tell you
not
this.
what I said. Run the tape back, because that is not what I said.
I believe that's exactly.
We are humble. We are humble, and we are. I will say, my singing is subpar comparably to how much energy I will give through my hyping. So I will agree with that. I'm a cheerleader and I'm a great salesman. That's what I always say.
We bring the party. We bring the party, Benny. That's what we do. So.
All right, am I continuing on with my number two?
Wait, were we talking about albums?
We were.
I forgot. I'm sorry. We got on to I rabbit trails.
I kind of want to hear some mediocre singing right now.
Wait, let me go. All right, number two.
Number two for me was the What Now's Neglected Objective. This album was in the making for, I think, 7-ish years, and it kept being about to come out. And you know what? It was worth the wait. It's a really good album. And yeah, they're local to us, kind of an hour away from Reading. So I get to see them fairly often, and they're part of the Camp Punks fam. And I'm really, really excited that they got to release this album this year. I'm proud of them.
Yes.
So my number two is Backyard Superheroes, Mass Hysteria. They're also local to us here in New Jersey. Well, to me in New Jersey. I'm alone in New Jersey here, but I have them. It's a great album. There's a lot of focus on mental health. My favorite song off the album has to be At Least My Dog Thinks I'm Cool, because it's just true. At least I hope so. I mean, she didn't say otherwise. Right, Rosie?
It's actually a very good song. I mean, they're all good songs. I agree that it's amazing.
It's just solid, just such a good album. And, you know, it's a huge band. Everybody's so talented. I love that they have female vocalists, male vocalists, the multiple vocalists, gang vocals. I love their sound. I've been a fan for a while, and this album feels like just exponential growth on top of everything they've already accomplished. So.
And they
Great.
even got Coolie Ranks on the track.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
And we got to see him at Skanksgiving. The Pilfers were there with Backyard Superheroes, and we actually got to see them perform it live, which was awesome. I was so happy to get to see that.
And none of you mentioned that as an amazing show of the year, but that's okay.
I got to see that twice this year at Buffalo Ska Fest too. That was a great show.
My number 2 is one of our guests here tonight. My number 2. Once again, can you hear my drum roll, or am I just hitting my table and nothing's happening? My number 2 is Boy Detectives Exhibition, an amazing album, Benny. You are my favorite band to see live in the whole world, and you know I love you. And do you remember the days of when I was the only one who was in the cuddle huddles? Remember that day? My, how they have grown.
I do. And I remember the first time I'm like, I think that's Eric, but I don't want to say something silly and it's not him. And it was literally, we were passing each other in a bathroom once. And I was like, am I supposed to say something? Am I not supposed to say something? Like, because you guys got to understand too, like, you guys are, and it's weird to think now because I know you all, but it's when I first came into this being an Ida kid, like the Detroit ska scene was very intimidating. It was very intimidating because I could tell like how close knit the community is. And I guess I didn't realize at the beginning how easy it is to get involved. Like if you are a genuine person, you will be accepted right away. But I didn't realize that right away because, you know, like I'm coming in like, oh, I'm the scared little boy. I was in a horror punk band for years. Now I'm in a ska band, you know? And so like, I remember the first Cuddle Puddle. I know it's a strange thing, but if you haven't been a part of it, that's interesting. But yes, and now like there was a picture at the Mustard Plug show, and I'm like, what
There
has
were like
happened?
so many people.
Connor was in there.
Connor, baby.
But I will
love
go
that.
to the tiki bar when I was the only one in your cuddle puddle.
And you apologize, and I'm like, Eric, you never apologize to me for being a part of something from the Boy Detective. You have nothing to ever apologize for. But thank you.
And you know your albums mean so much. I would say the which included, I'm looking at my poster because I've got the poster of it. Your guys' breakout ska show was probably November 10th of 2023, which included Killer Diller, Mr. Kingpin, and Jay Navarro and the Traders. I feel like that was your Welcome to Michigan ska show.
That was the day everybody said like, oh, like, who are you and where have you been? Yes. And I'm like, wow, we have been playing in the wrong place for a long time. So yes, and I know this is not part of the show, but I want to thank Chris and Kira, honestly, and I'm not just saying this because they're here, but I want to thank them for being so accepting of us detectives and just being incredibly cool and supportive because you didn't have to be. So thank you, both of you. I really do appreciate that.
Well, absolutely.
Don't have to thank us.
Yeah. You know, and one thing that I sorry, go ahead.
I said good people and fun to play with.
Yeah.
And musicians.
When I speak of upper Midwest ska and like especially the Detroit area, but Detroit metro area, I speak of community, right? And this is I've lived in a lot of places, retired military, I've lived all over the country basically, but like I've not seen a community like this in this region. Like the fact that we've got Boy Detective playing with us, or like Eric will play, you know, a whole bill, or Scott will play a whole bill with someone just to make it happen because that's what we need to do. I've not experienced that anywhere I've been. So we're really sitting on something unique here. And I'm just really just honored and floored to be a part of it, man. It's really great.
Now we just got to figure out a song where us three can do a cool harmony on a song. That's what we got to figure out. That's our next
goal.
You're
talking.
Well played. And Jess will back me up on this. The amount of times I just talk about how much the Michigan ska scene is just an amazing thing to be in, and she got a chance to experience that.
Yeah,
I,
that was a
I
big
think what
weekend.
we have here is something special in the world, in all sincerity.
I mean, I came out and did Splish Splash Splash. I need to get out there for like another show, like a big show.
That was a big show.
It was a big show. I saw the Boy Detective for the first time, and my life
And
changed.
Killer Diller, you saw Killer Diller that night.
And I saw Killer Diller, and I saw St. Thomas Boys Academy. So it was great.
And you saw the Borouts
And
later
Justin
on.
Bueller. Oh, and I saw the Borouts that night too. Yeah, it was great.
So that was my number two. Benny, I personally love you with all my heart. You were family to me. Sincerely. Was that all of our number twos?
Nope.
I think Ryan still has the number
Oh,
two.
I'm so sorry, Ryan. What's your number two, Ryan?
My number two is something to do. Here Comes the Panic. Just for the sheer capability of the way that those songs will ingrain in your brain. I don't know how many times I've woken up singing Draw Me Like One of Your French Girls, and I will carry that with me all day at work. And being a union electrician on site with like 700 other people, like I'll dance at work too. I don't care. I got my earbuds in, and yeah, it's fun, but I get some funny looks for sure.
I'm looking at you really funny right now with your hat. Were you wearing that all night?
I have been wearing this all night long, yes. Your husband and his nipples are on my hat.
Oh my god.
They're everywhere.
All right. Are we going to number ones now?
Yeah.
You hear my
I'm
drum
gonna go
roll?
last.
You want to go
Are we
last?
gonna
Go
ask
ahead.
Benny what his number two was?
Oh yeah, Benny, what's your
Oh,
number?
Benny, what's your number
Yeah.
two?
I don't know if Chris or Kara were asked number twos either, but I'll
Kara
say
gave
mine.
hers.
Oh, sorry. Mine is, and this sounds like such a homer when I say it, but Killer Diller's Extended Play 2, because that was the one that came out this year. And there's two specific songs that every time I hear them, I think I'm going to do it by the heart. I don't want to cheat. It's Accountability Ska, correct?
Yes.
And then Pendulum. Those
Ooh.
two are incredible, and I'll tell you why. It showcases both their vocal ranges on both of those songs, and I love the meaning behind both. Specifically, obviously, Accountability Ska. That's what we fight for every day. But those two songs made that album, EP, whatever you want. I'm a punk kid by trade, so if it's three songs, it's still an album for me. Extended 2, number 2.
Go ahead, Eric. You go next.
Are we doing? I did number
Yeah.
two. Are we doing number one now?
Number one, yeah. Because
My
Chris is
number
just
one-
saying popcorn, right?
Oh, are you foreshadowing me? Is that what we do? My number one of the year is Killer Diller's Extended Play number 2. That would be my number one of the year in this, where we brought these guys on. And to go with Benny, Pendulum has always been one of my favorite songs. Like, I'm always like, oh God, will they play it today? So the fact that so many of these songs you guys played for months at the bowling alley and then other places, and then now I have them on an album is just so amazing to me. And I will openly confess that originally Pendulum, I may have not gotten the full meaning of the song until after the election. I was like, oh shit, it might be a political song. I took it as kind of a love song originally. So am I right or wrong? Is it a love song? Is it a political song?
So credit needs to be given where credit is due. So Chrissy Morgan wrote the lyrics to that song.
Okay.
You used to for Killer Diller. Where does she live now, Chris? Kentucky?
She's in Kentucky, yeah.
Kentucky. And I don't believe it was meant strictly to be political, but that could figure into it. I think she had said it's basically just all the hardships that we go through and, like coming back on the other end, on the upswing. So
that's what I took it more as, and then after the election and after America fucked up, I was like, Chris P, actually, we all know Chris P because she's amazing, mentioned your song, and I was like, ooh, maybe I've been looking at the song all wrong. Or maybe that's the beautiful thing of the song, that it can be taken in so many different ways.
I think that's really fair. I mean, I just sing it. But
Fair.
read into it differently, even singing it many times, kind of depending on my mood. So, and I usually, if I'm singing, I'm channeling whatever I'm feeling into that. Definitely looked at it differently after the election. That's still a tough week. It's like the week that never ended.
Yeah. Yes, it's still going on.
Yes,
I
4
agree.
years.
Yeah, it might end in about 4 years and 20 some. Uh, but yeah, like I think that's the beauty of music, though, is it almost doesn't matter what the writer in, what you feel as a listener, like what you experience from hearing it.
Some other Every Damn Day is probably one of my favorite sing-along songs. And like I wait for that when you guys opened with that at SKAgazine, if I remember correctly. So who wrote that one? What's the story behind that song? I am really gonna focus on that. Sorry, Jess.
Yeah, so let's talk. So that was the idea, the concept of the song was Scott's. I wrote most of the lyrics. He wrote the chorus, and I had to kind of go off of what's your intent? Like, what does the chorus mean? Um, and then draw kind of draw some narrative around that because, like I kind of go into this little like monologue at the beginning about how you feel like you're alone, you feel like you're not enough, you feel like the world's around you or against you, but like that's bullshit, right? You're not alone because we're all in this together, and we have to look out for each other, right? And I think that's probably as we're looking forward to this next 4 years, that's the one thing that we have to make sure that we have in place is that care, that community, that accountability, that belonging, all of those things, right? Because like just like the other albums you guys are talking about the mental health issues in there, like all these things, it's like when we get isolated and we feel like we're alone, like that's when just the bad things happen, right? And so it's like reach out, lend a hand, help your fellow man. Like that is ultimately what that song is about, and ultimately like what our music's about, really, in general. I think all of us. So, yeah, I'm not sure what the question was, but that's kind of where I rambled with it.
And Benny, if I go back to you, as Jess will be my kind of my witness in this. Any chance I get, I sing the praises of you need to see Boy Detective live. We need to bring them to your hometown. You need to see them to understand them. Would you agree?
Who, me?
Yeah, Jess, were
Oh,
you not?
absolutely. Yes.
Yes, I'm
I I don't shut up
I'm,
enough, detective.
I'm the only one here who hasn't. I
I'm
feel left
kind of
out.
in a good spot here because two of my favorite bands are like literally right here, right now. I
You're
am
very
excited
lucky.
now. So
We
I'm
are.
How about you,
We
Eric?
got some-
So can I rabbit trails for a second?
Of course. That's what Eric
This
does
is
best.
this is what I do, guys. All right. So Benny, Kara, and Chris. Something that I like to point out all the time is just the community that we have in Michigan as far as ska goes, and as far as just how much our scene is amazing. So not to put you on the spot here, but if any of you would like to talk about the Michigan ska scene and possibly what it means to you and what the people who show up at shows mean to you, this is your chance.
Uh,
Don't apologize.
so the scene here means more than I can probably express in words. Um, you know, for one, I consider a lot of people in the scene friends at this point. So it's gone beyond, oh, there's somebody at a show or there's somebody in an audience. You're friends. But like, I've had a stressful few months, and going to shows, like, I can't tell you, there's been a few times where I've just been like, oh, I don't even want to do this. And I love doing what I do, but I'm tired. And I'll get there and just seeing everybody smiling and having a good time and dancing turns that around in an instant. And then, just kind of reminds me, like, I've got all these people and I can have fun, and this is what makes it all worth it. So it's definitely, it means a lot to me. Probably my favorite times of every month is when I get to go to shows or perform. Doesn't matter which side of the stage I'm on. And it is something very special, like you said earlier. You know, I was in Chicago until 5.5 years ago, and I have great friends out there, and there's good people in the scene. It is not the same. You know, the scene here is incredibly welcoming, incredibly supportive. Like, I've never seen anything like it wherever I've gone. So we definitely are onto something, and I hope it spreads. So yeah.
Awesome.
So thank you to everybody in the Michigan ska scene. Plus, we got the best flags.
Yes, we do.
Oh yeah.
Thank you,
We
Joel.
do.
Thank you,
Shout
Joel.
out to Joel.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
droves on Thursday. Flag for just about every band.
As somebody who's
Yeah,
biased,
baby.
Oh, Kara, very
look
shit.
at that.
Well, I didn't
That's
get
very
one.
cool.
I gotta,
Kara, were you done with your
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure before I go into mine. I think of three things when I think of Michigan ska and this Michigan ska scene. One, and the most important part, is a blanket. It is a warm, comfortable place that no matter who you are, if you see any of the ska scene or how I put it, the ska family, you feel safe, you feel at home, and you know that you're going to have a good show. That's the first thing. The second thing is I am a sober alcoholic. So one of the big things that has been absolutely wonderful with the Michigan ska scene is they're my new addiction. I'm actually putting my addiction to something that's healthy and supportive, and I I I never realized, because in this world that doesn't use empathy, it uses apathy and teaches apathy, how empathetic this community is. And I think that's why it's so special, is because for however luck we got in Michigan, we have people who give a damn about each other, and about the bands and about supportive and about going to shows. That's a big thing. I am still shocked. I never had a band where people will drive 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours to come see, because you are home for them and they're going to support you. It's absolutely amazing. So those are the two. And then the third thing is I feel bad for any other scene because what I hear from everybody who's not in the Michigan ska scene that hears about it is they're kind of getting annoyed about it, because it's kind of getting to the point where they're like, all we ever hear about is this dumb Michigan ska scene. And they go, but the problem is we finally do get to see these bands and realize, oh, like they can back it up. Like there's actually talent, people, like community that backs it up. So it's just like, I can't imagine being in another community that doesn't have that. Like that would suck. That would absolutely suck. We have a family and we're supporting each other, and it's absolutely wonderful. So those three things, the blanket, the my new drug, right? And this idea that like I feel bad for every other community, because like I'm so lucky to have these people surrounding me. Sorry, Jess. Sorry, Janice.
It's okay. I can take that too. It's like I get to see Michigan ska from an outside looking in. I don't even want to say from the outside looking in, because they accepted me and adopted me as one of their own.
You are Michigan ska, Jess.
And I love them for that. And they are my family, most of them. And on the other hand, like we have something similar here, but on a much smaller scale. It's not quite as big as what you guys have. And that's something to grow towards for sure. And I know, talking to all the people that I've become close with, I know that a lot of these people have been to the same shows and been in the same room with each other for many years, but really these connections just started over the last couple of years. So I feel like any scene can grow this way. And yes, do I want to model it after Michigan ska? Absolutely, because it's amazing. I will say I've been out there, I've seen it, I hear about it all the time. I don't get sick of it. I do get a little jealous.
I will say too, and I will give Joel, hey, we all know Joel, right? I'll
Mhm.
give him credit. He literally just started a chat group, and it connected so many people together with their passions and their love, and I think that's what exploded it. So if anyone's out there and wants to start a good scene,
Yes, Joel's
yeah,
a good guy.
do it.
I'm a product of the Van Ashes, though. The Van Wasteds.
Van Wasted.
Yeah, I can't for
Van
them.
Wasted. I rabbit trailed this. So Jess, what's your number one album of the year?
Janice, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go next.
Okay.
My number one is the What Now's Neglected Objective. I discovered them at camp. They're a band that has really I'm having word issues today, but I connect with their songs a lot. On Neglected Objective, they have everything from Shut Up, which is basically an anthem of self-doubt and trying to fight through those negative voices in your head. They have Let Them Eat Cake, which is basically a ska protest song. And if there's anything I love more than a protest song, it's a ska protest song. And then they have Fuzzy, which is a love song about Sasquatch. And the world needs more love songs about Sasquatch. So if you haven't checked them out yet, you definitely recommend it.
You know, neither one of us mentioned this, and I think it's important. One, Berg has a very unique voice.
Yes.
And I think that does a lot for the album and, you know, their music. Number two, this is ska with the ukulele. We didn't point that out.
That's true.
That's fun.
Skakalando.
Great album.
Yes, large man with a tiny
Everything
guitar.
they do for Riot Squad and helping put together Camp Punk is just awesome. You know, they're awesome individuals as well.
Absolutely. I think me and Ryan might share number one. So do you just want to shout it out?
I'm pretty sure we do.
1, 2, 3. The
The
Boy
Boy Detective Exhibition. Yep. I don't personally. If it was just Art Theft, it might not have made number one, but with band being in there as well, it almost feels like a cheat because you got two great EPs in there, but with the horn section, everything, no, it's fire through and through. You know, we were talking about that November show last year with Killer Diller. You know, that was the first time I really was kind of introduced to the Michigan ska scene. I ran into the Van Ashes about a month prior to, and you know, I met you that night, Benny. We were talking. I ran into you at Black Christmas about a month afterwards. You know, and it's just I don't know. There's something about that cuddle puddle and all the energy. You know, it's addictive.
I still take credit for helping to move the cuddle puddles along. I was there in the cuddle puddle when it's just me and Benny on the floor hugging each other. So,
and Eric can totally take credit for making me listen to The Boy Detective because he didn't shut the fuck up about them back then. I shut the fuck up about them now. He still doesn't shut the fuck up about them.
True.
I will say though, like listening to Art Theft, I loved it. I played it a lot. Seeing you guys live is definitely what did it for me. And I need that again in my life. So get the fuck
I think that's the biggest struggle with The Boy Detective is I don't think you can record what we truly are. And we definitely cheated. So Karen, Chris, you guys deserve the real album of the year, not us, because we did cheat because Art Theft was already released. And then Band was already released. And we just Art Thefted ourselves. So I will say it was really cool that Jaredin specifically was like, hey, I want to redo the horns on Band and actually make it ours because originally was electronic horns. So when you listen to Exhibition, because I've heard so many people say this is the most confusing thing that a band has ever done. And if it's gonna be The Boy Detective, because you got to solve the case. But basically, I will say that Art Theft is not different from Exhibition Art Theft. It's literally the same thing. But like to be able to hear Band in its way that we do it now instead of the way that Nick and I did it all those years ago, those horns deserved it. And I'm so glad that they get represented the way that they should, because Jaredin Jared and Seth specifically, but Rhiannon, which I miss her, and Lauren, I miss her, but now we have Emily, and Emily's wonderful. She's great. But they have come a long way, and they come along with Nick and I, and we are not the easiest sometimes to understand horns because we don't write horn songs. Because we are punk kids that decided to join a somewhat adjacent ska band. And that's the beauty of the Boy Detective 2 is we are so everything that it's easy to put us with any show because we have a little hardcore and we have a little punk, we have a little ska. Like we're actually kind of we're cheating the ska realm. We're really they just accept us because they're like, okay, let them, okay, we see where they're going here.
Hey,
But at the same time,
let me tell you a little secret. We know,
yeah,
and we're fine with
we're
it.
very familiar.
We're
It's
on
almost
to
like
you.
it's almost like they have a secret like chat where they're like, listen, the Boy Detective's gonna come to your town. They're gonna say they're a ska band. Just let them say whatever they're gonna do. They're gonna put on a good show. That like and that's another big thing. I want to say this, and I don't mean this by an ageist way at all, but I kind of feel like we were lucky too to have a lot of older brother and older sister bands help us. I have had conversations with a lot of the ska punk community in Michigan ska about like, am I doing this right? What do I do next? How do I do this? Like, because I'm new to this. I have no idea what I'm doing half the time. And it's wonderful that they will like give me advice. So I appreciate that.
You're doing what you're doing, Benny. I think it's working.
Giving up.
Yeah.
Funny.
So I would also still like to point out that Benny, my prediction was by September of, I guess, next year still, you, Boy Detective will be the breakout band of the year. And I stand by that.
I just want to play one show with No Doubt. That's all I want to do. One show with No Doubt. And then, believe it or not, be able to open for my hometown favorite band, Suicide Machines, for once in my life. That would be absolutely wonderful. But it's on the cards yet.
In Killer Diller.
Can you do that here, please? Suicide Machine.
Right.
Bring it here.
Come out here. Come on.
You guys talk to Jared.
Rating 26.
So since we have you guys all on here, Karen, Chris, what is coming up this year for you guys? Any big plans? Any shows besides I have the opportunity to see you every Thursday of every month? Wait, let me try that again. First Thursday of every month. Although every Thursday of every month would also be very cool. But what's going on with Killer Diller this year?
Well, right now, Ska Thursdays. And then after that, right now we've just got something booked in May. We're planning on recording some more.
Yes.
New songs have gotten started. I've missed them thus far because I had the flu for those rehearsals, or was in and then had the flu. But there are new songs on the way, and goal is full-length album out by next fall. So
is it gonna be a combination of what you've already done? Do you think it's gonna be all new tunes?
probably the EPs plus new tunes.
Nice.
So, and then we applied for Supernova, so that would be amazing, but haven't heard anything yet. So this would be year 3, I think, applying, but I'll be there. Does that count? It has nothing to do with our band, but I'm really looking forward to Supernova. It's my favorite time of the year, every year.
If you all randomly showed up, I am sure we could find you a show somewhere.
We could play in a parking lot.
You could play on a beach.
And I'd like to try to get to Croydon this year, just as a spectator. I missed out on the early bird tickets, I think, didn't I?
So, Jess, do you know what I'm about to say, or is Jess gone?
She laughed.
No.
That we may have some extra tickets eventually.
So they are sold out,
We'll see.
but hang out with us because we might have a couple tickets, and if you really want to go, let me know.
Yeah, I couldn't buy them because I don't know my work travel schedule. Wah, wah.
Mm,
But
Yeah.
I'll be seeing you at least once a month. So
the first Thursday of every month.
Yeah, you know where to find us.
yeah.
So are you guys gonna stay with Batch?
Yep, staying with Batch. So taking January off, and we'll be there February 6th.
And is that the plan? Are we not going? Are we staying at Batch? I shouldn't say are we not going back to a different
Capacity
place?
larger.
Is it inside now though?
There's a tent, yes. No, it's still outside, but there's a heated tent.
Okay,
Like it's all enclosed now.
but same general area.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. I don't think we'll be on a stage. I think we'll just be on the ground. But we can walk around and dance more that way.
I do like dancing to Killer Diller. Hey Benny, what's up with you guys this year?
Well, I feel like
Nothing?
I feel like I need to give you guys decoder rings and like do clues. Like that'd be more fun, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
We also have applied for Supernova, so that would be super killer if Killer Diller and the Boy Detective ended up going, because that would be awesome. Because if I remember right, there wasn't a Michigan band last year.
No Michigan
Last year.
last year.
The year before, yes. Well,
Yikes.
Muscle Plug and Jay Navarro was the year before, right?
So this year, put it out in the manifest that Killer Diller and the Boy Detective are going to play, and then we'll combine all the bands. It'd be the Killer Detectives, and just kill it. So yes, thank you. I've been working on that hard. So we got it. We did get accepted to Pooza Fest, so we're doing that in May
Okay, did you
in
say
Montreal.
Pizza Fest?
Pooza.
Fuck,
We're
I was
playing
really
Pooza.
thinking about going because Faintest Idea, who's my favorite band in the whole world, is playing that one.
Come to Montreal. Just
Now I gotta go.
jump in the van with us. We'll figure it
Can I?
out. Or maybe what?
I might take you up on that. Can I really jump in the van?
Well, I guess I should make sure we got enough seats because there is
Eric,
12
you're
of us.
doing
Oh, now you're
Eric.
backing out.
Just
Well, we
strap
can
them
put
on the roof.
Eric, we can put you on the top. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Let's get a caravan going.
Yes,
So we-
back me up. Would that not be the most amazing show for me to see Faintest Idea and Boy Detective together?
It's pretty. I'm pretty excited about it. So we're doing that. We also got added to Stoop Fest, so we'll be in Lansing doing that. So that's super cool. We are recording an album, so just like Killer Diller, hopefully in the fall we have a full length, an actual full length, and not 2 EPs that we put together and pretended it was full and got away with it. Or as Chris said, we know and we just deal with it. So we're doing that. Honestly, I'm trying to think. There's so much. We got a lot of cool shows coming up next month. When does this show get released? Technically,
Oh, it's live right now.
it's live right now. Is it really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And
Okay,
I'm not
then I
editing.
can't.
It's just going on.
Guys,
Okay, well, you know what? F it. If I get in trouble, I get in trouble. We're playing with Catch 22. Oh my God, Benny. And I think that's March. I think we're playing with Catch 22 here in Detroit.
With
Um,
St. Thomas. Was I supposed to say that?
I don't know anything about anything more. I'll just get myself in trouble. That's
So
all I say.
I know it's you guys,
We're-
it's St.
we're-
Thomas
we're-
Boys Academy, and somebody.
Eric, I know nothing. I know nothing more. So, and then we're also playing with, I think Half Past Two and Dance Contraption up in Grand Rapids.
Wait, is that
Not Half Past Two. Sorry, the other one. Something to do. I would get the two mixed
shit?
up. My
Is that
brain.
the February show? Because that's
Yeah, we're gonna be
Heck
at the.
yes.
We're gonna be at
heck
the
yes.
the Pyramid Scheme playing with Dance Contraption and
Yes.
them, and then
that'll be a fun show.
there's some other stuff. I think we're doing a
Hey,
benefit
Benny?
show for Ba.
Can I
Yeah,
pause you for a second? Did you say half past two or something to do?
something to do.
Yes.
So we're yes. So you can draw yourself. What was the song, Ryan?
I'm a French girl.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go. Draw me like a
Draw me
French
like
girl.
one of
You
your
can
French
come up.
girls.
There you go. I'm hoping she comes up and plays the trumpet with us because that would rule.
You want me to
I'm
ask?
sure she would. Jessie is a blast. I wound
Yes,
up catching
I would
both
love
shows
Jessie
at
on
Detroit
to
and Grand
do-
Rapids 'cause they're
that
so
would-
good.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun. So we're doing that. I'm really trying to get on a Suicide Machine show. So Jay, if you're hearing this, please do your best to get us on. And then I'm hoping to do. There was talk with Leonore about doing another couple shows with 5R, and that was so much fun for us. It was the coolest.
Such a fun person.
They were Leonore rules. So yeah, but the main thing and the only thing that matters is that this year Killer Diller and the Boy Detective are playing Supernova. Just putting it out there in the air. Just putting it out there.
I like the manifestation.
So
Does anybody want to know my album?
Oh, everybody, on Friday we release our newest track, Unrealized Gains, which comes out Friday. If you haven't got it, pre-download it. It's gonna be wonderful. It's a wonderful song about the state of the union right now. Basically, it's for the kids. So, okay, that's all.
question.
Oh.
So what about a SKA Thursday with Killer Diller and Boy Detective?
In fairness, Killer Diller did invite us to one show. We didn't make it last year, so this is not a Killer Diller thing. This is
go over.
You suck, Benny.
We suck.
We gotta
Okay.
go over it. Just send us a message.
Can we do this? Can we do this year? Because that would be probably one of
So
my.
what's gonna happen is Kara's gonna do the whole Boy Detective set. I'm gonna do Pendulum.
Really? Don't toy with my emotions.
And I'm gonna ruin the song for everybody. Kara will kill it. So we're good. We got this going. We're good. We got it going. Yeah, we do need to do a SKA Thursday with Killer Diller for sure. Needs to happen. It was going to happen and it just didn't happen. But yeah, we will do it. It'll happen.
Did I see something about you guys playing some shows with our homies from out here, Suburban Downgrade? Something with through Pick It Up Media in March?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we're playing with half dizzy too. Sorry, there's so much going on right now in my brain. We're playing. Yes. Sorry, Chris. I am so sorry if you're listening to this. Chris set up a really awesome show in Detroit. We're gonna play with Suburban Downgrades, Half Dizzy, which is gonna be really cool because we haven't got to play with them, our fellow record mates out there, and that's gonna be an awesome show too. So come on out. It's gonna be wonderful.
You know what I want to know what my album of the year is?
Yes.
What's up, Box?
It's Art Theft by the Toy Detective.
The Toy Detective.
Oh, there you go.
The Toy
Yes.
Detective.
Love it. Ox, I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much.
By the way, did I say the Toy Detective?
We're switching our name. It's official now. We are the Toy Detective.
I think we should go with it, actually.
Tell them about your relationship with Suburban Downgrade, who they're going to play with. Yeah, he's buds with them.
I have an interview with them. If you want to see it, it's on my YouTube. It's on the YouTube first.
Actually,
But she decides that she wants to own anything because she's so cool and popular.
Goodbye, Oliver.
So I think you both may have done this, but is there anything either of or all three of you, I guess, but either band would like to plug for before we leave?
I would like to plug Killer Diller. If you have not seen them, go see them. They're wonderful and they're great people, and that's more important than anything else.
Aww.
Well, we're throwing it right back.
Seriously. Yeah.
Because it's not just a show, it's an experience. And if you're old like me, you just get tired from watching.
If you want to come to a show and have me sweat on you the whole time, then yes, this is the show to see.
So Thursday, I was like so bizarrely sweaty that people wouldn't come near me. I don't know if you knew that, Benny, because I laid on top of you like all sweaty and stuff.
I don't feel wetness at that point, man. I am just I'm gross. I'm just absolutely gross.
Eric, everyone was sweaty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hot as hell in there.
That was literally the best show of the year.
It was a really awesome show. I'll be honest. We were all very lucky to be on that show.
I was in a world of utopia at that point in time. So we haven't talked about this. So Michigan side, and I don't know the exact reason, but so my theory, and if anyone knows anything, please correct me. but I feel like leaving the ska kids out of Black Christmas probably hindered it this year. Would you agree?
Well, in theory, we were technically on the bill.
I mean, part of you were, yes.
So, but I do think I I don't know how much I'm supposed to say or
Hey,
talk
come on,
about.
we're live. Just go.
I think there was some issues that were happening before, and I think it just, whether it was the Majestic or whether it was the other shows kind of going up. But yeah, I honestly, what I thought was the coolest part of that was Smalls and the Lager House
I agree.
having shows to support the bands that didn't get a show. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. We got invited to play Lager House, so we didn't take it, but we do appreciate the offer that Lager House gave us. What?
Why didn't you take it?
Because some of us have families that they actually were like, well, I guess if the show doesn't count, then we're gonna go hang out with our families. I will say this, our spouses are very awesome to let us do what we do. And so at the when we first found out it was canceled, we didn't know about the extra shows. So a lot of us already made plans with our families. And at the end of the day, the only way this works is if we're also balanced at home too. So sometimes you gotta put up the skanking shoes to stay home with the kiddos. It's important.
Yep. I think too, with like one, not plus side, like it was a shame that got canceled, but I did know a lot of people that were only going to go to one or the other, so either Scala or Black Christmas. So there were a lot of people that were going to Black Christmas that then instead came to Scala Days.
I will say the best part about Scala Days was these two gentlemen walked in the show and they saw me and they were looking up, and I think like the write-ups were getting their stuff on. They were doing some upstrokes, and they looked at me and they go, "Wait a second, what kind of show is this tonight?" And I just knew when I said the next word, ska, you could just see their faces like, I thought this was going to be a hardcore show. They thought Black Christmas was Thursday.
Oh,
And it was so awesome. And I said, listen, I don't know about the rest of the bands, but I can tell you that the second band, there is some actual breakdowns. And they're like, no, we're not staying. I tried to convert. I tried to convert.
I feel like there was a lot of hardcore kids that were out on Thursday. My son was mentioning, is it normally that rowdy? I'm like, at a ska show, not typically. Like there were some guys in there that were having a good time. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Don't
get me wrong.
I got popped in the lip twice, and I was like, this is the first Michigan ska show I've actually been abused, and I loved it being a punk kid, but I was like,
sorry about that, man.
Poor Jaredin was like, I don't know what I'm doing. This is a bad choice. This is a bad choice. Nick,
it was
Nick
so much
down.
fun. There's you, Ricky, Jaredin.
Yep. So this is the first time Nick Good had our guitarist had wireless, and he got down, and then he realized he couldn't get back up. So he was like, "This is why I stay on stage. This is why I stay on stage." I was like, "You're such a grump. You're such a grump." But he does write most of the stuff, so I guess he is kind of the mechanic behind everything. So
yeah, I got to chat with him about Verdukianism a little bit on Thursday. That was fun.
He loves those titles. He will die on that hill for those titles, which is great. Because let's bring out the old Fall Out Boy. Let's go back to the early 2000s.
Thank you. Wow.
I guess that's a wrap on 2024, huh?
Yeah, I kind of feel like it is. It all got quiet all of a sudden, like everybody's just waiting for that ball drop and all these fun shows we were just talking about.
I hope I get to see you all in 2025 in person. That would be great. Supernova or wherever else. I will be back out to Detroit for Splish Splash again.
You better be.
Absolutely. I think we're gonna make a longer trip out of it this time. So
Nice.
maybe you guys can make sure there's some other shows happening around that.
It'll be called the Jess Tour. You just go to a couple Michigan. We do PJs, we do Smalls, we just do a circuit. PJ, Smalls, Sanctuary. We'll just do the whole brigade. Maybe go down to Ann Arbor, have some fun, go back up. We'll make it. We'll
Is
do
Ann
it. We'll
Arbor
figure it out.
really fun? I'm not a big fan.
If we're there, it is.
Fair.
I mean, I think the blind pick could be sick if we had a ska show there instead of like what they have there most of the time.
That's fair.
Eric, ska makes every dream come true.
This is true. So do we want to do another ska show at a Blind Pig? Is that what we're saying?
We could do it. We can make it happen.
Who's in? Chris, are you in?
You know what my dream is?
All right.
I'll go.
So we got Chris, we got Boy Detective. Can I put this together? I just became a fucking.
You didn't say Killer Diller. You said we got Chris.
Tara,
because there's 11 other people to convince.
Yes, that's the problem. You got 3 of 36 people you got to talk to, Eric.
You know what?
That's our 2 bands.
Well, Eric Abbey will be on very soon. He's coming on the show in a couple weeks, so I can convince him then.
Sweet.
There you go.
Now I'm 1, 2, 3, 4 of 36 people.
You just gotta get the rest of them on the show. There you go. It'll take a while.
Eric doesn't take convincing. You might have to convince Brent because that's going to be what, a 4.5-hour drive for him.
Oh, that's right. He's not local. That's right.
But if he drives 3 hours just to practice,
that's wild. Good for him.
So are we doing a blind show? Is it we're saying?
I think he's up in my area, isn't he? Like my area.
What is it, Chris? Wolf Lake.
Clear Lake.
Clear Lake, that's it.
It's like Vestaburg area.
Let's see, I'll tell you in a second.
Bristol.
All I know is I camped in his backyard and I woke up in the middle of the night and heard a noise and thought it was a bear. And then I'm like, no, there's probably not bears. Again, guys, remember from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
The next morning.
Googled it and there's bears.
Oh yeah, baby.
All my snacks into my tent with me. So I was like very worried. But it was just Eric Abbey.
Which is basically a big bear. So it does make complete sense.
That's wife, like, so does he always sound like a bear when he's sleeping? She's like, yeah, pretty much.
No. Was that the cool one you guys did on the deck?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that ruled. That looked like a really cool show.
So I got to tell you about that show because we were playing and like out to the lake and all the boats, but there was a family that lived in the house right next to us where we were playing, and they were just sitting on the deck, just like listening and like drinking and just having a good time. And when we were playing instrumentals, I just go and hang out with them and just chill. And they were like feeding me and giving me drinks and just like they actually let me stay in their guest house, which is like they call it the dog house. It's where where the guys have to sleep when they're
when they're in trouble.
When they're in trouble, right?
Yeah.
But like I was gonna be sleeping on the floor and like in or on the couch or something. They're like, no, we got a whole loft and a bunch of beds up there. Go ahead, it's all yours. Like it's just such a cool vibe, man. Just
we checked it out in the morning. So like here we are sleeping in tents. It poured rain and severe thunderstormed all night. And we get up to see, like, where's Chris at? Oh, here he is. And this really.
No, I got a fresh cup of coffee from the neighbors. It's
from my adopted family, not my neighbors.
That's it. And now he goes up there every weekend. He visits them on the weekend.
We're doing Thanksgiving next year together. No big deal.
Thank you, SKAgazine, for having us. We appreciate it. It's awesome.
Well, I have one ask of everybody before we say goodnight and Happy New Year's. That we give an honorable mention for a band that did not get named tonight that anybody feels like they deserve some recognition.
Muster plug? St. Thomas. Somebody did.
I was gonna say Grim Luck. They're up and coming. I just found the album a couple of weeks ago. trying to come up with the top 5 because I didn't feel like it would be fair if I didn't try to listen to so much ska.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was just it's a really fun like freak show ska feel. It's dark and spooky, and it's just yeah,
Who is it? Who is this again, Ryan?
good luck.
Okay.
Anybody else got one?
So Jess, can I do
Yeah,
mine?
Matamuska, I thought was going to be like one of my albums of the year, and they didn't make my top 10, and it actually made me sad. So I'm like, there's just so much good music this year. I love that album though, and seeing them live this year at Broken Goblet was great.
Let's Jake's Uncharted was really good. It's like a EP that they just released. It was very,
Mhm.
very fun. Very good.
Oh, if we're talking EPs, Mustard Plug's Hey is awesome. I know it
And Mustard Plug.
dropped.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were lucky enough to have it for a couple months though, and we've been listening to it like crazy.
I
Love
was gonna
it.
say that one just slipped in the 2024 realm. It
Uh-huh.
just got in there, baby. Right on the cusp.
Anybody else got one?
No.
All right.
I
Well,
feel like there was another EP, but I can't think of it right now that I wanted to mention, but oops.
Hey Jess,
Yes,
would you like to thank our
absolutely.
for coming on and
Are you ready to go, Eric? It's getting late.
no, I'm okay to stay all night, but I
I mean,
feel
I am not
we
because
could do
luckily
pretty
Ox doesn't have school tomorrow, but he needs to get to
Oh,
bed.
can I
So,
make an honorable mention?
yes.
yeah.
no.
So this is very biased, but I think they're going to be doing some great things very soon. My brother's band, the Dads on
Dads on
Couches,
Couches.
are a
Are they,
lot of fun. They're
they
fun,
releasing
and
an album?
they're recording demos right now and hopefully going in the
Nice.
studio. So they hopefully will have an EP by the end of summer. That's the goal.
Awesome.
I met
Really,
your brother
really
at Splish Splash, and he was like so much fun. Like he just came up.
This is a cool guy.
He came up and just started talking to me like we're fast friends, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, both my brothers are wonderful and they're fun. So Dads on Couches, if you haven't checked them out, go check them out.
All right. Well, I heard that if you want shows, you gotta like go to shows or something. Isn't there something you usually say, Eric?
Eric, you got some kind of
Should I
closing message
close this
for us?
up? Am I closing us?
Do it.
Everybody, this is my Bat Barker. Does anyone else besides me know who Bat Barker is? Remember the Price is Light thing?
Duh.
We would talk
course.
about
Just
like
say it, Eric. Just freaking say it.
murdering your animals. Do you remember? Same thing. Hey everybody. Just a friendly reminder. If you want a scene, you have to be part of that scene. So please show up to the shows and support your local bands.
And your
Be the
local
scene.
venues, because
Be the
the
scene.
venues are struggling right now. So get out there to the shows, buy some merch, tip your bartenders, do it all.
And buy your tickets in advance if you
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
And don't try to get on the list because people are your friends. Buy the tickets for real.
There's nothing scarier than finding out there's been 2 tickets sold to a show.
Man's tickets, do it.
All right. So good night, everybody.
Thank you so much for joining us, you guys.
Thank you.
Chris,
Thank you all. We appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure.
Love
You guys have
having
a
you
happy
here.
New Year's.
Happy New Year
See you in
and
25.
All
see
right.
the scene.
Soon. Love you all.
Do ska stuff. See you guys.
Peace. I don't know which video to end first here. Shit.